my taxes on our Safari store and our rooms. Every January we have to pay taxes and get the establishments registered, re-registered every year, and they issue you a stamp. So I'm at the Barangay Hall in Paho at the moment. It's a bit crowded, but nevertheless it's one of them things. Well, I'm now down at the Cordova City Hall to pay for our land tax. That's my little magenta car there, parked illegally, but that's where they told me to park. So, may I remind everyone that in January of every year, taxes have to be paid on your property, sari stores, rooms, land. But I don't know what your Filipino tells you when they say you don't pay it. You do have to pay tax here in the Philippines on your property. So therefore, don't take any notice of what your Filipino says just because her parents never paid it. It doesn't mean you don't have to pay it either. They can come and get you. And I also hear of people building houses on land where they don't get building permission. They can take your house from you anytime they want. But some people just don't seem to care, but you would if they come and took your hard-earned cash and the house that your dream home that you built, take it away, all because you took advice that you don't have to get build permission or you don't have to pay taxes. Remember, if you sell your house, you still have got to pay all the back payments of tax that you owe. You won't just sell for no reason. You've always got to pay taxes, and before you sell you have to pay all the taxes as well. So that's just a lesson. This is not the reason for this video. I'm just telling you this because of the taxes that are due to be paid in January. I've paid about 14,000 pesos out so far this month in taxes. House tax was up 50%, it was 3,000, it's now 6,000 something. Sari store, 1,000 something. Room select was 3,000 something. And now we got the plot of land in Cordova that I've got, which I now have to pay for. So I'll try and grab that parking space, or someone's coming out, it doesn't matter. I've had a right old day today. As you saw from the previous videos, I went to the barangay at Paho to register and pay for our sari store and rooms, and then I drove to Cordova because we had to hand some papers in there regarding tax clearance. Now this is what I want to talk to you about. In the videos, sometimes what's going on around me totally distracts me to what I'm going to say, so I'm going to repeat myself just in case you couldn't understand. If you own a house in the Philippines or a sari store, our sari store is owned by my partner's mother, but because she's getting on in years, we took it over. So we registered in our name and we pay the yearly tax. We also have rooms that are registered with the barangay, and we also have land in Cordova that we purchased some time ago. Now, if you own any of them or you manage any of them or whatever, you have to register them. The sari store and the rooms are registered with the barangay at Paho every January, and I think you can pay it quarterly, but we pay it all in one lump sum. Every January we go and register the business, and when you first register the business you get a metal plate with a business number that you put on display in your store, and we've also got one on display in our rooms. Now every January we just go up and re-register it, and they give you a little sticker, for example 2025, that you put on the metal plate in the corner. Now the sari store costs just over 1,000 and the rooms cost just over 3,000 because obviously they're making money, more money than the store. We also own a house, this house in Paho, that is registered with the Lapu-Lapu City Hall, and we go there every year, every January, which again you can pay it monthly if you wish, and pay the real property tax, what they call it. Now this year it was gone up by over 50%. Last year it was only 3,000 something, where this year it's gone up 6,000 something. So you have to be prepared for any increases because they never let you know, they never pre-warn you. And so we paid the house tax, we paid the rental room tax, and we paid the sari tax. Now, some people say, well, why are you paying them? Because the sari store and the rooms are on, they're not registered in our name for the land because it's like a sort of squatters area. But the squatters area has been there for 40 years. Now, no one knows what's going to happen to the land. It could be there for another 40 years. Or the government could come down and tell everyone to clear off. But those that have registered and pay tax on it, we will compensate. You just don't know. And it's the same as our house. There are hundreds of houses around this area with sari stores and rooms for rent that are not registered. They don't pay tax. But I'm not interested in them because if there's a knock at my door and they say, can you show us your yearly tax statement? I can do it, no problem. And that's why we pay our taxes, not because, it's because we want to be completely in the clear of any wrongdoing with the government, because you don't know, at any time the government could go down to the squatters area and ask every store, where is your tax declaration, where is your business plate, where is your 2025 stamp, and I would assume that probably 75% of them haven't got anything, and they could close you down. Good business for us because we're registered. But you know, if you are in any of them sort of businesses, then you need to pay your taxes. Now, we purchased some land in Cordova last year. Obviously, it's not cheap because Cordova is not in the province. It's like semi-rural, but only a kilometre away from the big casino or casino store. I always pronounce it wrong. There's a big multi-shopping mall there. Anyway, we went down there again today because on Friday we went there and we paid our yearly tax on the land, which was 1,200. But we had to go back today because they wanted to see the tax clearance certificate. In other words, they want to prove that the old owner has paid, are up to date with their taxes, which they were, and they paid it all. And now they've given us another piece of paper to take to the main City Hall, Cebu City Hall, and to say that everything's been checked and everything's clear. So the land's in our name and we're paying the taxes. But again, there must be loads and loads of people that own land that do not pay the taxes. But what you've got to think about is, if I decide to sell that land, it's going to be very, very difficult. I can sell it, but sooner or later the buyer is going to say, or when they go through the process of buying it via the solicitor and City Hall and Department of Finance especially, they will say, hang on, the owner has got to pay the taxes that he's owed the government since he bought that. So you understand, if you want to sell the land but you haven't been paying the taxes, when you come to sell it, you may be, or you will be required by the buyer to complete all the outstanding taxes that you owe. And there is a what do they call it, penalty if you don't pay them taxes. Now, I just don't understand why people do it. I think sometimes the expat is told by their Filipino or their living girlfriend, their wife, whatever. My parents have never paid it, so don't bother about it. But you're a foreigner, remember. You're a guest in this country, and they can cancel your visa anytime they want, especially if they think that you're trying to defraud them of taxes. It's no hardship. All right, I spent about 14,000 pesos this month of January. I could have split it over the year, probably, but I don't want the hassle of keep having to go backwards and forwards. So I paid it all at once in January. So that was just over 6,000 for the house, 3,000 odd for the rented rooms, 1,000 something for the store, and then 1,000 something for the land. But any government official could come to me anywhere in them places and ask for our papers, and we have got them. Okay? I don't have to shy away or run away and hide or worry about my visa being postponed, because I have paid all my taxes. And I think the problem is a lot of you foreigners, you take the advice of your girlfriend or your wife or etc. when they say, well, my parents haven't paid it for years and no one's come and asked them. That is very true. But there's always that one day that they could come. And not only that, I've also seen it on YouTube where people, especially in the province, have bought land, and they must have gone through the process of buying the land. Whether the taxes are paid or not, I don't know. They should be up to date. But some people are not getting permission to build a house on that land. I've openly heard people say that they haven't got planning permission. They've never sought planning permission to build a house. One of the reasons why you sought planning permission is so that the plumbing can be signed off by the plumbing department, the electrical plan can be signed off by the electrical department and the fire department, and the structural plan, everything is in order and up to scratch with the Filipino law when it comes to building a house. But some people don't bother. And again, I think because you foreigners take the word from the Filipino or someone in the family or somebody else or some other foreigner says, oh, no need to get permission, we just built it. Getting the paperwork done just takes too much. I will swear, it's a fucking pain in the arse getting the paperwork done. Yes, it is. I thought today at Cordova was going to be the end of it, but no, he gave us another bit of paper to take to the City Hall in Cebu. Hopefully that will be the end of it. But even when you do all your taxes and all the financial things in the Department of Finance, you still got to show all them documents everywhere you freaking go. Which I don't understand. If you give all the documents to the City of Finance and they give you a piece of paper saying, yes, check, 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 and they give you another bit of paper to go to another department, that should be it. But that department want copies of the other papers. Anyway, that is the Philippines. There's nothing you can do about that. But do not take the word of another foreigner or a Filipino or their parents or their brothers and sisters, nieces and aunts and say, we haven't paid it for years, because that one day the government could knock at your door and say, have you got permission to build this house? Where is the certificate from the planning department for you to build this house? And they could take it away from you. Even if you don't pay taxes on your house, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that if you do not pay your taxes, after X amount of years, they can take that house from you. Whether it happens or not, I do not know. But anyway, that was not the reason for this video, actually. I've had a shit day, really. I went to Cordova, well, went to Pajo Barangay, the city planning or whatever it is in Cordova. On the way back, we stopped at the Casino shopping mall because it's our nearest shopping mall and we wanted to see what it was like inside. We're on the way back. She then says to me that she's run out of beer and stuff for the store, so we had to go to the wholesalers, and I got here about 3 o'clock. Now, I planned to do this video last week, but on Friday there was a big fire in Pajo. We don't know what it was, but apparently someone saw a little boy playing with a lighter, and as you know, a lot of these houses are made of wood, so instead of taking the lighter off the little boy, they said, you carry on, just burn the place down, it's okay. So, Sky cable disappeared. It went offline Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, Sunday it came on for 30 minutes and then went off again. And yesterday it came on at 9 o'clock at night. So basically we had 4 days of no internet. So, I'm getting a grip of it now. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is because I've seen it so many times. And foreigners mustn't do this. Let's take a scenario. You're Filipina, girlfriend, whatever. Because of the relationship she has with you, it's putting her in a very difficult position with her family. And what I mean by this is, take a scenario of 10 children living in the province in a small two-room hut, corrugated roof as a roof, sleeping on the floor, not much money, do odd jobs, live off the land a bit. And then one of them children, namely your future, love of your life, you start a relationship on over the internet. She doesn't ask you for money, which is a good sign. But when it's her birthday, you want to send her something so, you know, she can spend it on herself. So you agree and you send it by maybe Western Union or whatever. And she gets this money, and say you send her, for example, 5,000 peso. And it's the most she's ever had. It's the most the family's ever seen in one go, 5,000 peso. So she's obliged really to spend a lot of that money, if she don't spend it on herself, on the family. Providing her food, cake, whatever, have a birthday party, invite all the neighbours, friends and neighbours, cousins, uncles, nieces, whoever it is, because she's got the money. Now, in the eyes of all those other people, she has now got something that they haven't, or they haven't seen before. And this is where I find that a lot of foreigners don't realise that with the relationship they put themselves in with the Filipinas, it's making it very difficult for the Filipina, whether it's a girl or wife or whatever, because she's also attracted to the family side. Now, you've heard the old saying, blood is thicker than water. Now, just so happens that the long-term relationship or long-distance relationship develops, you come over, you come and meet her parents, you pay out food again, you buy this, you buy that, and the family again, the other 9 children, think, wow, you know, we're onto something here, this guy's got money. Now, because of that, your Filipina is being pressurized not only by pleasing you, but also trying to please a family at the same time. Now, you could end up getting married. You could end up building a house and living happily ever after. But every now and again, she gets this little twinge from, a family member that so-and-so needs a boarding school paid for a college, someone needs to get pencils and pens, for stationery for school, they need uniforms, they need this, and the school is holding a competition where they need a costume and everything else, they are going to come to your Filipina, not directly to you and you to the Filipina. They will speak in their own language and they will contact her in their own way, and they will put her under pressure. I've seen it before. I regard myself as very, very lucky. My partner wanted to take over the sari store from her mother because I made her pack up a job in the market because it was only paying $9,000 a month, and she was walking around in all weathers collecting money off people that used to see her come in and then disappear. I borrowed her 50,000 pesos to buy the stock for the sari store. And you know what? Every night she came home from that sari store, she gave me between 300 and 500 peso. Every night. And she worked Saturday and Sunday as well. And she continued paying that, and I kept a record of it until she paid it all up. And now all the money that she makes in that sari store is hers. The rooms for rent. The rooms were a mess. The people that had them before couldn't repair them because of the typhoon in 2001. So we bought the land. We registered with the barangay as 11 rooms. We paid the taxes on it. I spent over $1 million getting the rooms rebuilt. And you know what? All the rental and the water and electric and everything else, every financial aspect concerned with those rooms comes to me. My partner does not want any of that money, and I keep a record of it every month when I take the rent in and etc., etc. And at the moment it's only been open, I think, just over a year, and we've got I've received nearly 500,000 pesos already. That comes to me, and I use that for my living expenses here in the Philippines, so I don't need to touch my pensions. Okay, I paid for the land in Cordova, but that's also for me as well. I want to build a nice home there in Cordova. This house here, I bought it again, renovated, but it was so I could save 40,000 or 30,000 every month, paying rent, jeepneys, taxes, etc. in Song where I used to live. I hate paying rent. I've never paid rent in my life. So that's where I'm very lucky. If I borrow a family money, I always borrow. They borrow it. They don't ask for it. They borrow it. I gave them money for a new roof in the house which was leaking. Well, they didn't have a roof. So when it rained, it was like a swimming pool. They paid me back every month when they got their money, pensions. A brother's wife went into hospital. So he asked if they could borrow 10,000. Yes. But I knew they would have difficult paying it back. So I said, you do some work for me, laying pipes and everything, and we can just wipe it clear. And he was happy with that. So that's where I regard myself lucky. But in your situation, guys, you may not be so lucky. Your Filipino's family may be digging her in the ribs and saying, can we borrow this for, for school equipment? Can we borrow this to buy a school uniform? Can we borrow this? And she is obliged to say yes, because you know yourself what the families are like in the Philippines. They're family orientated. Blood is thicker than water, and you're just water to them. Their relatives don't really care about you. You're at the bottom of the family chain, but when it comes to finances, you're at the very, very top. So your Filipina is pressurised from her family, and she needs to see if you can help her family also. So she's under a lot of pressure. And this is what I'm trying to get to you guys. You know, a lot of you foreigners that have got wives, some of you are very happily married. Some of you took your Filipina to the States or wherever, lived there a few years, brought her back, and everything's happy. Family don't really bother you. But then you get another foreigner that says, oh, I was screwed by my wife. She took everything. She kept asking for money. The family got on her nerves. But remember, if you start a relationship with a Filipina, you are putting her in a difficult position because she's being pressurised on one side from her family and she's pressurised on another side trying to please you. So this is the end of my little rant, but it's, you know, don't do it in the Philippines, guys. Don't rely on your Filipina if they say you don't need to pay rent. Find out for sure. If you own something in the Philippines, you should pay tax on it. Don't just take it for granted because the family doesn't pay it or haven't paid it for years, because one day they may come knocking at your door and you may lose your house because you haven't paid it. And it's not very much every year or quarterly. Also, have a bit more respect for your Filipina, especially the young ones with the big age gaps. I'm not knocking age gaps, that's entirely up to you. But the younger they are, the more gullible they are and under pressure from the family. You know, if you remember the Elton John song, sorry is the most hardest word to say. Well, in this case, no is the hardest word to say. You've got to say no to these people. Be hard. I know it's hard on your Filipina's wife and she's got to go back and say, sorry, XYZ will not give me the money, or he doesn't have the money at the... It's putting her in a very, very, very difficult position. So by means of this video, just try and be a bit more sympathetic towards your Filipina. Maybe the family need to be told to just back off a bit. Let us live our own lives. Just back off. The answer is no. Anyway, if you like the video, subscribe. If you don't like it, tough. If you want to share it. And the cockerel or rooster is in agreement with me out there. So, anyway, have a good day. And I've gained 1 subscriber. So thank you very much for that guy or lady or whoever it is. The more subscribers we get, the much better it is. But remember, I don't bullshit on my videos. Everything I say on my videos is the truth. I don't tell lies just to make you come to the Philippines. The Philippines is difficult. It's challenging. It's hard. It's fucking hard sometimes. It's stressful. But at the end of the day, it's not that bad. Anyway, take care, be good, and I'll see you in the next video.